Hello, this is a demonstration of the Augmedix GO Assist application. It runs on an iPhone device. We can either deliver or provide an Augmedix dedicated device. Some providers prefer to use their personal devices. We could do either one. Is an app-based application. You can also run it using your laptop, and you can hit submit recordings using your laptop, an iPhone, iPad, devices. Okay, so we'll just kind of click in. The first thing you need to look at is the login capabilities. Once you initially log in, you can activate either Face ID or a PIN ID to log in to the app. So you don't have to retype in your credentials every single time. I'm using a Face ID. Once you're logged into the app, you'll notice that you'll see your patient schedule for that clinic day. And so right now, I'm not connected to an EHR for this demo purposes, but you'll see that I have a couple of patients listed here. If you look at the current version, the app version is currently 3.6.1. We're continuously adding updates, new functionality, new features. Probably about every 2 weeks, you'll get a notification that there's an update. Please update the app so you can get the latest and greatest functionality in the capabilities of this service. We have the settings here under preferences. You'll notice you have the ability to, at the provider level, customize your notes if you choose to have narrative or concise. With Assist, however, we capture all of this on your onboarding. And so we'll capture all your dot phrases, all your templates, and your MDS will acknowledge all that information and adjust your note to your chart based upon your preferences that we capture. So you won't have to do this in the settings, but if you did want to change anything, you could do that. Narrative is more of a summary base versus very, very concise notes, depending on, again, provider preferences. On the to-do tab here real quick, this is a listing of all of the previous patients that you have had encounters with or that were on your schedule. If whether or not you submitted or recorded or not, or even recorded that patient encounter, it'll tell you that it's been generated or if it's been submitted. So if we go here to patient 1, this was just an example. It's probably not a bad patient. We'll go to patient 3. All right. So patient 3, this is the actual transcription of that encounter. You'll notice that we're parsing out or highlighting the medically relevant information here in blue. And this is going to, as we listen in and we're running it through our AI models, we're focusing on pulling out only the medically relevant information. And so what we're doing is taking that medically relevant and then we're parsing it out. So if you want to do additional analytics, you have access to the data itself of every encounter. So if you want to see treatment plans, medication, results, what have you, you can pull that out and do additional analytics if you so choose. If you click down here on this icon, this is the actual medical note itself. And so it is all problem-based. So we start with HPI. We're talking about listing out the different options. This is the AI only generated note. The MDS, once you submit this, will QA it and add your additional, provider preferences, your templates that you want to utilize for this particular encounter, as well as uploading this information. So when you are ready to sign off, you simply just review and sign off directly in your EHR. All right. So there's the ROS. This particular exam didn't have a physical exam in it. We also have IC10 coding recommendations. And so if you want to change the default, you can simply just check on this and then just check it there before you submit the note. Now you have two different options to submit. So if you're happy with the quality of the note or the AI generated by itself, you can upload it directly into the EHR. This is a feature that needs to be turned on or turned off based upon the provider preferences. Majority of our providers will send it to the MDS by clicking this icon right here. So once they click on that, it has been submitted to your MDS. They're going to QA the note and then they'll upload that information to you directly in the EHR. It'll have an icon on the said, uploaded to EHR, then that lets you know that you have to review and sign off. All right. One other thing that I can talk to you about as far as note quality. So if we go back to patient 2 here, for example, we go down here, it gives you an icon to let you know the note is ready with this green dot. At the bottom of this note, you can rate it, okay? So you can either do a thumbs up or thumbs down. This is highly important, especially as you're onboarding, so we can customize your preferences, adapt to what's important to you, and tweak any notes that, or tweak any information that we need to either pull or add based upon your preferences, okay? So that's important to note as well. On the actual schedule itself, when you're actually going into a patient, we'll just do patient 1. Actually, before I do that, you have the ability to have multiple languages assigned. So we have 32 or 34 different languages that were available. Just let me know, your customer success manager, know which languages you would like to have turned on. Because we have so many, there's no sense in having to scroll through all these. We just want to have the ones that are most important to you. So I have English and Spanish here. We have, Mandarin, Vietnamese, Russian, and Spanish and stuff like that as well. So anyway, back to the note. When you are in the patient encounter, so you're walking into that exam room, the first thing you need to do is hit this blue button. This is the recording. Be sure to look to make sure that the timer is moving, and then that'll inform you that it started. The recording has successfully started. And then if you have any communications, you have to really to have a direct two-way communications to your MDS. So if there's anything you want to add, bring in some images, adjust anything to a note, you can communicate with them directly. And so that's another functionality of the app. Once you kind of go through and have your patient encounter, be sure to verbalize as much as you can so we can be captured. If you're doing an exam, say for a knee exam or something like that, and you want to call out right knee, and then everything else in regards to the diagnosis as far as what you're finding in the exam. Okay, so the more you verbalize, the more we can capture. Once you're done with that exam visit, you just simply come back to the device and hit stop. It begins its processing. Depending on the length of that encounter, it could last for 5 minutes up to over an hour, and then it'll process that information accordingly. And then once you see this note being generated, you'll see this icon available. This is to let you know that you can upload it to the MDS, and then that is on the patient screen once a note has been updated. All right. So if you look, see here now, it shows that the that encounter has been completed. The note is generated. If you go back into it, we'll actually hit to submit to the MDS. And then it tells you now that it's been sent to the MDS. And then once that has been QA'd by our services and then uploaded into the EHR, it'll say ready for review in EHR or something like that. Okay. So that's pretty much the user experience that you have with the note itself. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to us. We can be contacted at augmedix.com, or you can email me directly at danny.hall@augmedix.com.